Welcome back to Parent Talk. Today's topic is when toddlers attack. How to manage your 2-year-old when they start biting. We have two guests here with us, a parent, Lauren, mother of two 2-year-olds, and we also have a child development specialist, Heather, from DePaul University. So Lauren, tell us about your life with twins.
Well, it's crazy, but really fun. Both of my girls are absolutely great, but recently we've had a little bit of a problem. My younger twin has started biting both me and her little sister, or her big sister. So we just don't know what to do about it. You know, it seems to happen when she's upset, but I don't know. I don't want to yell at her. She's only 2, so we really need some help.
I want you to know that it's absolutely normal. It's very, very common for toddlers to bite. It's a normal behavior challenge for a 2-year-old, but as a parent, I can totally understand. I was like, oh my goodness, like she wasn't biting one day, and now she's biting. And what am I supposed to do about it? So the first thing that I kind of wanted to talk about is that there's a lot of reasons why a toddler might be biting, okay? And the first one really is that they might be teething. Sometimes toddlers are really after pressure on their gums when their gums hurt when they're teething, especially if your girls are young too, and still cutting those 2-year-old molars. It might be that, you know, it's sort of a pressure, a sensation thing that they want. The other thing to remember is that 2-year-olds are still really learning social skills, and they don't have a really verbose vocabulary yet, right? So they don't have a lot of language. And so sometimes they bite as a means of communication. Biting to tell you they don't like that, biting to tell you that they want your attention, okay? And in particular, they don't really know how to deal with those negative emotions very well, so sometimes that's when we see the biting. I know with my daughter, when she was young, we saw her biting. It was typically when there were really strong emotions, right? She was either really, really excited or really, really frustrated, and that's when we saw her bite. And the other thing is that toddlers don't really understand that their actions hurt others. They really only see the world through their own eyes, right? And it doesn't hurt them when they bite you. So it's really possible that, you know, she doesn't understand that she's hurting you and she's hurting her sister. So honestly, I think the first step to thinking about this is trying to figure out why. What do you think is the cause of her biting?
I see. So how exactly could I figure out what's causing her to bite?
Well, I think that the first thing that you need to do is really observe her and to sort of try to take some notes about what you see before she bites and after she bites. Let me give you an example of an observation of a child, not one who's biting, but who we're looking at specific behavior.
As you can see, this is a pretty simple column-based system for recording observations of a child's behavior. So the far left-hand column is time. It's just a good idea to keep track of the time when it happens so you can see if there's any kind of a theme. Does it usually happen when she's tired, right before lunch, when she's hungry? The next column is what happens immediately before the behavior. The next column is the behavior. In the consequence column, you record what happens immediately after the behavior happens. So if you said, ouch, no bite, or your other daughter screamed, or potentially your other daughter gave her the toy. And we track consequences just so that we can see if a child is being rewarded for a behavior. So for example, if every time she bites, your other daughter gives her the toy, then of course she's being rewarded for biting her. And in the notes column, you could include things like she's teething, not feeling well, didn't take a nap today, those kinds of things.
Oh, that makes so much sense. You know, now that I'm thinking about it, it does seem to happen when my attention is kind of otherwise, you know, somewhere else. But so once I do completely pinpoint the behavior and what's causing it, what are some strategies that I could use to deal with that behavior?
So the first thing that you want to do is get down on the child's level so that you're sort of eye to eye with her. And of course, if she's still like biting her sister or biting, separate them, right? But make it really clear that biting is not okay. Okay. If there's been a conflict or someone is upset or she's displaying a lot of emotion, certainly talk about, you know, how she's feeling. Oh, you know, you look really upset, but it's not okay to bite. Okay. And saying things like, ouch, no bite, that hurts mama or mommy or whatever you call themselves or whatever your other daughter's name is. Just making it clear that biting is not okay. So it's okay to be frustrated that your sister took your toy, right? But it's not okay to bite.
Heather, can you explain a little bit more about why children bite due to teething?
Absolutely, and that's a really, really common thing. With my own daughter, we saw that she bit a lot more when she was teething. But if a child is biting because of teething or because of sensory understimulation, one of the things that you can do is try to sort of give them other things that it is okay to bite, right? Because they're not biting because they're angry, but they're biting because their mouth hurts or they want more feeling there. So a teething ring, especially those water-filled ones that you can put in the freezer, the refrigerator, that's kind of like cold on their teeth, or introducing like a larger variety of textures to their meals can really help the situation. Sure. So making sure that they're not just getting pureed baby food, but they're also getting lots of textures. So if they have a good amount of teeth, which most babies do, but not everybody. Everyone's a little bit different. Carrot sticks, or other raw vegetables that are really crunchy, or things that they have to chew. They make the granola bars now for toddlers that they really gotta chew for a while. Just making sure that everything isn't really soft. Okay? And just make sure that you sort of observe the behavior, right? If she really, her biting reduces a lot when you give her a cold teething ring, as soon as you start to see that biting, make sure that that's what you give it. Okay. But that might not work. It might be carrot sticks, or it might be sort of the no-bite intervention, or it just depends on sort of why she's biting in the first place and what's going to work best with her right now.
Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you so much. I feel so much better.
Thank you both for being here, and tune in tomorrow for tips on how to get your child to bed on time. Bye.